There's never been a time where a track like that, Look Inside Yourself, from a group called For Hero, there's never been a time where I have ever played a track that was so on point for this topic we're going to discuss tonight. Looking inside yourself. Yes, I said the intelligent ones of our people, the so-called black race, we need to look inside our own people. We need to take stock of our own people. We need to start to see what it is or who we are making moves with in the future. Because as I said, everything I advocate is dealing with future intelligence, future moves. Everything is constantly in motion. That's what I advocate in State of Mentel. We are a future intelligence group. And we got people who are painfully stuck in the past and present. People naturally look ahead. You are naturally built with your eyes in front of you to see ahead, not on the sides of you and not behind you. There's a reason for that. There was a divine purpose and a higher intelligence in putting your eyes in front of you to see ahead of you. This is how we should be looking at our lives, constantly looking into the future, thinking for the future, forward. Right? We can't move forward any longer with people who are not thinking in future tense, not in past tense, not in present tense, but in future tense. Right? This will take a very intelligent people, a people who see the bigger picture, a people who have foresight. That, unfortunately, is not the goddamn black race. We're going to discuss that tonight. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkarayzz, and this is State of Mentel Radio. And tonight, taking stock in the black race. The stock options don't look good. The stock doesn't look good. The stock is falling. Hell, the stock's been falling since after slavery. After slavery, for the white man, you niggas really didn't serve no purpose. You know, you don't serve any purpose to yourself. You become a liability in the society. When you look at a people who are constantly looking for a handout, constantly looking for, instead of hand-ups, constantly looking for someone to do something for them, constantly looking for people to give them something, though you have been geared into that way of thinking through the civil rights movement. Prior to that time, you had black people who came out of slavery 2 and 3 generations afterwards who were trying to start businesses, be independent, wanted to do things for themselves. Then along comes people in the 60s. Well, let's go back a little bit. You know, we had organizations such as the UNIA, United Negro Improvement Association, under Marcus Garvey. You had the Moorish Science Temple. You had the Nation of Islam under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. These people, these great men, were teaching to do for self. Right? They were creating a liability. Asset to our people. They were assets to our people, living assets. Anyone who stands up to spark independent movement in a people are assets. Because what happens? You start people thinking. You start people moving forward. You help to start resonating pictures in the minds of the people. I said yesterday when Elijah Muhammad talked about spiritual things, I said that it wasn't dealing with spirituality like the whole religious mindset and the abstract people who talk about spirituality. No, he was actually speaking about future tense. He just didn't use the word future, but he tried to get people like Malcolm X in them to see, or look into the future of what they were doing and what that organization or that nation could become. Right? He was constantly talking about the future. Why do you know that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he told black people to invest in Japan after World War II. Right? Of course, Negroes didn't do it. Niggas are hard-headed. They believed in the damn white man. Right? They believed in the society. They believed in the New Deal with Franklin Delano Roosevelt and that bullshit. Right? So what did it get them? Got you welfare lines, free cheese today, hard-ass cheese. Got you all kinds of, got you in this mind frame of looking for handouts, looking for, a program, looking for something to get. You don't no longer think of doing things for yourself. Black people don't think that way. So what happens when you can't produce a people, or a people are not producing ideas to do things for themselves? They become a liability. Right? They become a liability to the society. They become a liability to the future generation. Because, when you're doing things, when you got people who are trying to come up and promote a mindset of doing for yourself amongst people who really have no desire to do anything for themselves, people who are looking for things like sovereignty and, land rights like your Moors, or people who are sitting around here looking for, handouts in Hollywood, or, civil rights, or anything just to kick in, any kind of program, anything that you're looking to kick in. I made a comment on Facebook where I said, with all of the energy that black people put into society, begging the white man and kissing his ass, all that energy that was put in, could have went into, the energy you put into begging for Hollywood roles, welfare, Section 8, name it. Whatever you could think of in a society black people are begging for. They got their hand out expecting somebody to do something for them. All the energy that black people put into kissing ass and begging for all these years could have went into building universities, could have went into building film studios, could have went into building record companies. All of this could have went and helped into starting up your own, going somewhere and setting up your own country somewhere. I hear all these guys in the Pan-African movement talking about, going to Africa and setting up a society and whatnot. I'm like, why they didn't go? Why are they still here? Riddle me that. Why the hell are they still here? These guys were supposed to have been on the left and went to Africa back in the 60s. Why the hell are they still here? Why are all these red, black, and green pumping Negroes still here in America? You understand? Why is that? Why? Because mentally they only understand how to be a liability. They know how to, suck off of the tit of America. That's what they know how to do best. They're born begging. And they want to institute that begging mentality in the next generation of people. We was doing something, the State of Mental, we were doing the Supermen, Superwomen project. And, of course, we still do it every month. And as we were promoting the project, we had a couple of old pork-eating Negroes come up, some old, field hands, like they left out of the field somewhere. But anyway, they come up to us, look like they just finished, having a too much barbecue. But anyway, they come up to us and they asking, well, what's this? They talk, what's this? I'm like, English? What's this? What this is? Well, what this is, sir, a future intelligence movement, right? Not a religious organization, not a civil rights organization, not a community organization. This is a future intelligence organization that is focused on advancing the intelligence of our people, next generation. And we're doing we're doing a project or a conference, Well, who funding you? No one's funding us. Man, that nigga looked at me like I came from Mars with 3 heads when I said nobody's funding. I said, we're paying for it ourselves. Yeah. He looked at me like I said, as if I just dropped out of the sky somewhere or floated down on Earth, and he couldn't believe it. He was expecting me to say that, we got a government grant or a handout or, something. He was expecting that, But to his shock, we said we doing things ourselves. We don't want any handouts from the white man. We don't want any handouts from anybody. We don't even want. I told him we don't even want no money from you. Just come out and whatnot. But then at that point, it was pretty useless. I didn't really want him to even come out. Because he still had to tackle a little English barrier there. It was a little, you got lost in translation. But anyway, this is the mentality of the black race. This is the mentality of a people who no longer serve as an asset as they once did on the planet a long time ago, thousands and thousands of years ago. I even made the statement that God sees man and woman as assets and liabilities. I'm not talking about the bullshit God and religion and Christianity and Islam and Judaism. Not that bullshit God that y'all so fond of. Not no Jesus Christ. There is no Jesus Christ. Right? I'm talking about a future intelligent man, right? A man that comes from our bloodline, an intelligent man who resonates as God, as a supreme being on earth. Which we're supposed to be going into, right? I said, as we are now in real time looking at the black race, and I'm advocating the coming out of the black race, a separation in the black race. We're the only ones advocating the separation in the black race, the ignorant from the intelligent. As we are advocating in the state of a separation, we want to do a national separation of the black race, the ignorant from the intelligent. No more hood niggas running around with their pants hanging off their ass with Yankee caps. Because like I said, the black race stands up for stupidity. No more the nigger woman running around with the blonde wigs and weaves around us, and her sending her little bastard kids off to school with your kids, and you got to worry about your children getting home or getting cut in their face for their iPods. You understand? That type of separation has to take place. We can't go on any longer amongst them. I said there's no such thing as a black race. There are a lot of brown people, right? There's a group of brown people, some ignorant and some intelligent, right? When I talk about the black race, I'm talking about people. When I use that reference, black race, I'm talking about people, for those of you who haven't heard this broadcast before, when I'm talking about the black race, I'm talking about people who are in darkness, not the people who are physically black, because obviously we're not physically black. We're brown. When we were referred to as black people by the white man, he was talking about a people who were ignorant, who were in darkness, a people who were absent of light, because the word black, one of the definitions they give for it, the white man gives for it, is that was absent of light. I remember that whole Malcolm X thing where he read in the dictionary about, black is, opposite of white, absence of light, right? So when he called us black, he did it to make us like the polar opposite of themselves, who refer to themselves as white, right? They said that we are not people of light, meaning when they use the word light, they're actually talking about intelligence, because light is reminiscent, or light is related to intelligence. Like someone will say to you, you're very bright, right? They recognize brightness and light as intelligence, because intelligence travels on frequency. It travels on a mental frequency. Just as you pass thoughts to someone, that travels on a frequency, and it resonates in your mind as light. Like they show you the light bulb in your head when you get an idea. All that means something. That came from our people, because we recognize that all thoughts have power. So if all thoughts have power and the black race is not generating any power, they become a goddamn liability to a group of people who want to rise up out of that. Because we got a lot of intelligent people within the so-called black race, within the dead receivers, as I refer to them, the burnouts. We got a lot of intelligent people who are ashamed of showing their intelligence, because they trying to fit in with the ignorant niggas. They trying to fit in. They want to be down, because we coming out of a race that today upholds ignorance, that upholds stupidity, nigga nonsense. Yeah, I said it, nigga nonsense. That's the type of people we are amongst. Scum. I said the bright race, which I refer to our people as the ones who are separating out of the black race, we can't stand niggas just like we can't stand the white man. We don't like niggas neither. We hate niggas worse than the white man. I run into niggas all the time since, we're going into this bright evolution out of the black race and into a brighter people, a people who are intelligent, right? A people who are not in darkness, a people who are not in ignorance, a people who are not sitting around calling themselves African, people who are not relegated to one section, like the white man told us we was Africans and we ignorantly raise our fists for that. No, we're talking about a universal people, an international people, because the planet belongs, in fact, to the so-called black race, not just one section. When the Romans called us Africans, when they sectioned us off. And we bought into that. Why? Because we wanted to be Africans just like they was Europeans, just like they was Asians over here, so we figured we needed to be in a box as well. And with that box came a handout. With that box came, a begging hand, a so-called helping hand, right? Just like in Africa today. Some Negro going to tell me, oh, brother, we should just go back to Africa and repatriate back to Africa because all our people are in Africa. I said, so what? So what? You got all these black people in Africa, but the black people in Africa don't control Africa. You understand? The white man controls Africa. The Asians control Africa. The East Indians control Africa. They're the ones building the railroads for the Africans. They're the ones bringing in the technology. So the people who control the technology control the country. So don't give me this bullshit about, we're supposed to be running back to Africa for what? The Africans wrote you niggas off like a bad check 400 years ago. They sold you the slings of bondage to the white man. Right? That's when you were assets because they could whip your back, get you to work, rape your woman, rape your children, the good old days, that you niggas obviously forgot. The black race done forgot that. The black race got a very short memory, right? Short attention span, right? However, the bright race never forgot. It was always us within them who looked at everything, and we didn't forget. We are now those eagles, or excuse me, I should say that phoenix that's rising out of the ashes. The ashes represent the goddamn black race because they burnt under and over, crispy, done. The ones that phoenix is rising out of the ashes is your bright race, right? That's your bright race, that which we are advocating in the state of mental, the intelligent ones. Because as I said, nobody's black. You got ignorant brown people and you got intelligent brown people. Your ignorant brown people resonate as your black race. Your intelligent brown people resonate as your bright race. Yeah, I'm making the goddamn separation. Yeah. And a lot of my people are starting to hear my voice and they're coming along with me. Those of you out here who I see on Facebook who have been referring to yourself as the bright race, those of you who are raising up the Mentalian flag, right? Those of you who are raising up the almond race, the God race, and not no goddamn Christianity no more, no Islam, or that bullshit Israelitism. No more of the white man's mythological gods. No more of his philosophy. No more of his books. No more of his nonsense. No, pure intelligence, pure logic, pure common sense, as it once resonated in our heads. This is the time we have to go into. We're not going to get this amongst the black race. One of the first things we have to understand or have an ultra standing of, a new word, of course, in the state of mental, an ultra standing of is that every so-called black person is not our brother and our sister. Hell to the no. No. Everybody's not our brother and sister. We need to shun the majority of our people because they just serve no goddamn purpose. They serve no purpose. Now, I know it's hard for y'all to think that because, exactly, yes, exactly. Now, I know it's hard for a lot of our people to see it because you got a lot of friends, you got homies, you got your girl, you got your man, you got your husband, you got your wife. And to you, I say, to hell with y'all. To hell with your family and your friends. I said to hell with my family, the ones of my people who are not coming along with me on this. To hell with them. You understand? They walking corpses. They black zombies. Are people who are not thinking for themselves, who are allowing people to pre-think their thoughts, like they allow the white man to pre-think. That's the black race. The black race is not thinking. They allow the white man and everybody else to pre-think their thoughts for them. That's why they follow Christianity. That's why they follow religion. That's why they follow Islam and all this other bullshit, because they allow the white man to pre-think their thoughts for them. That's why they sit up here and read his bullshit books and take in his bullshit philosophy, that don't make no sense. That's why today you see the black man and black woman marching in gay parades. Well, we used to think stuff like that was just off the goddamn wall. You never thought you'd see that. But that's a people who have accepted the mentality of their captors. That is a people That is the people who have accepted the mindset of the captives, the people who have become a liability. The reason why we're not receiving power like we once did when we were under the knowledge, the true knowledge, and under the true God, the true and living God, Amen, when we were back in Egypt, when we were back in Nubia, when we were back in Samaria, the reason why we're not receiving that power is because to God, in the eyes of God, the true and living God, a so-called bright man who is a so-called black man who walked the earth, an intelligent black man, we have become liabilities within the black race. Why have we become liabilities in the black race? We become liabilities in the black race because we do not come together. Because we have accepted the philosophies of the beast. We have chosen to vibrate on a submental frequency. The black man, he want to sit up here and smoke weed all day, have his pants off his ass. He want his woman being a whore. He let his son and daughters be gay and lesbian now. Everything is fair game now. So now when you got a people who are thinking backwards, what happens? They become a goddamn liability. They are a liability. They are not an asset. Hell, I'm going to just make it plain. The white man is more of an asset to the true and living God than the damn black man. The black man ain't no asset. The white man's an asset to God. You understand? The black man's a liability. Because when the time was, when we was assets, when we was in our right mind, you understand? When the only God we acknowledged was the God Amen. You understand? When we were in our right mind, that's when we were asset because we were receiving higher intelligence. We were utilized. We were good to be utilized for something. You know, when you take stock in something, you invest in it. That's what when you say you taking stock in something, what that means is to invest in something, to invest time in it, to invest energy in it. Is a God investing time and energy in the black race? You tell me. Is a God or a higher power or a supreme being or whatever you believe in, some higher power, is anybody investing anything in the black race? You look at the people. Look at our people's plight. Does it look? It looks like our people have been abandoned now, hasn't it? If there is a God that that the black race believes in, it seemed like he turned his back and told you to kiss his ass. That's what God obviously did to the so-called black man and black woman, the God of the black man and black woman. He turned his back on you. There is no God for the black man and black woman because to the true and living God, you are a liability. You serve no purpose. You serve no purpose in the evolution of our people. That's the majority of the black race. But the bright race will. There will be an evolution. There will be a phoenix rising from the ashes, just like it was talked about in ancient Kemet, referred to as a Bennu bird. There will be a phoenix rising from the ashes. You understand? And that's the bright race. The ashes represent the black race, the ignorant ones, the ones who are perpetually ignorant and don't want any evolution to take place. I had a young man tell me tonight when he hears my voice that I sound angry, that I'm upset about what's going on around me. No, I said I'm not upset about what's going on around me. I said, you misunderstand me. Everybody knows, and I explain this to people all the time. I said, when you hear me raise my voice or you hear this passion in my voice, you hear this raw power that's coming through my voice, that's because I'm trying to wake up the bright race. This ain't because I'm angry at the goddamn black race. I don't give a damn about the black race. You think this is for them? The hell with these niggas. I'm not here. I don't care about them. I care about the bright ones amongst the black race. I don't care about the homie in the hood with his pants hanging off his ass, smoked out on blunt. All I care about is him staying the hell away from me or out my people's face. That's what I care about. I don't care about the nigger woman that's walking around with blonde hair and blue contacts. I don't care about her. You understand? I don't care about the so-called natural sister that's with the damn beast and everybody else, but she want to claim to be black. I don't care about that. I care about the bright ones of my people who are in tune with this message, the evolutionaries. Not the revolutionaries, but the evolutionaries. Not the black revolutionaries. I care about the bright evolutionaries. That's the team I'm playing on. That's who I'm riding with. You understand that? I'm riding with those people. I'm not riding with the black race because the black race is a goddamn liability. They are a liability. There is no God investing anything in the damn black race. Don't believe that bullshit about Creflo and them telling about, yeah, and God wants you, that nigga hustling y'all. Those niggas are hustling you. The black race too goddamn stupid to see a hustler. So that tell you right there. Any people that can't even see a hustler, anytime a nigga call himself Creflo Dollar and the black race giving this nigga money, you understand? And you too stupid to see a hustler, you understand? He could just come in your face. That's a liability. People who can't even think, people who are not smart enough to producing children who ain't smart to pull their pants up off their ass, on their ass. That's a liability. You understand? People that's turning out children, kids, babies having babies. You understand? That's a liability. You understand? It's not an asset. I said the white man's more of an asset to any guard than anything because, hell, at least the white men will come together and they'll work in a group collectively. And they will cooperate. The black race, they won't cooperate with a goddamn thing. But you could always see the black race, they will always argue over some goddamn stupidity. It'll always be some stupidity. Nigga will give you some answers about the Knick game and the NBA playoff and the NFL draft and smoking, how much Optimo he could smoke and how much blunts and how many types of kush and sticky icky that nigga could smoke and blow his goddamn brains out. He can do that. He can have a conversation about that. What about the evolution of our people and us coming together? Nigga gonna draw a blank. That's a liability. How about you taking care of your woman and your child? So they not sitting up on goddamn Jerry Springer somewhere and the nigga woman running around like a chicken with her head cut off cackling about, I told you. That's what the black race is producing. You know who the black race is an asset to, though? In certain ways, they're an asset to the white race because, you know, you serve as comic relief for the rest of the human race. The damn black race serves as comic relief. Biggest jokes on the planet. But then after the white man is not laughing anymore, when you don't think you funny anymore, when you don't think you amusing anymore, I don't care how many times you niggas dress up when you put dresses on and you trying to shuck and buck and jive for him, when he no longer thinks it's funny, when it comes down to food and shelter and survival, he gonna let you know that you're a liability. The person that called in, you could call back. I was about to take your call. You can call back and I'll answer your question. But that's what we are. And intelligent ones of our people, who I refer to as the elect, have to stand back and take a look at our associations, who we are associating with, who we are allowing ourselves to be associated with. You understand? We have to stand back and look. You understand? We have to look at the women. Our brothers got to look at the women we laying down with and choosing to lay it down with. Those of you who still choosing women as your wives. The women have to look at the men they choosing. You understand? Because it cuts both ways. You know? Hell, you might be of the bright race, but you trying to be with a black man. Yeah. And, you know, that's a mixed marriage. That's like trying to get how we used to say, black people would be like, I can't stand niggas, and people didn't understand that. What you was really saying was you are of the bright race of the intelligent, right? And you can't stand niggas. That's what you was really saying. But the niggas have become the black race. They have always been the black race. The bright ones, the intelligent ones, are the ones who can't stand the black race. We can't stand the niggas. And I'm not talking about you so-called educated niggas. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you bourgeoisie niggas. I'm not talking about you. This does not include you with the black race. You stand over there with the Pan-Africans and that bullshit. You stand over there with them. We don't want you with us. You understand? We don't want you handkerchief head niggas with us. All right? Well, I'm talking about the bright race, the intelligent ones, the ones who are receiving solar intelligence, future intelligence, the ones of our people that can see the bigger picture, the ones who carry a natural form of intelligence. Not you niggas that had to go and read books and suck out the white man's information. You had to suck him off for information, so that you could sound smart. No, I'm talking about the ones who have natural intelligence. You understand? I'm talking about the ones who carry a natural form of intelligence, what you old folks used to call common sense. That's who we're after. That's the bright race. You understand? That you got a lot of niggas who just zombies. They're just zoned out. They need the white man to tell them something. And I'm not talking about, the people, I'm not bashing the people who go to college and who actually trying to learn something. I'm not talking about that. You got certain black people that are there for technical things like doctors and lawyers and things that are really trying to use their mind. Then you got a lot of these niggas that's there that's trying to be psych majors and all that bullshit because they trying to master the ways of thinking of the white man. You know, them liberal niggas. You know, all they are a bunch of black parrots. Whatever the white man say, they just gonna repeat back. You know, Polly want a cracker. That's real. They're just going to repeat everything the white man say back. They'll go and read his books and whatnot because to them, they're coming off as progressive. That to them, whatever the white man says or he puts in a book or because he got a DR in front of his name or a PhD in the back of it, they think that's progressive. No, there's a new intelligence on the horizon, a real intelligence on the horizon, a true and living intelligence. This is the rebirth of common sense, intelligence, real intelligence. You understand? When I talk about God, I'm talking about breeding an omni-man and an omni-woman. I'm not talking about some bullshit God on some cloud. I'm talking about men and women advancing and evolving out of the bright race, giving birth to a new generation of supreme thinkers, people who possess supreme intelligence, and the foundation of it is logic. The foundation of it is intelligence, not information from the damn white man and the rest of the human race. You understand that? I have done nothing in these projects. I have done nothing in my time on this radio broadcast but give you just pure intelligence, pure logic, pure common sense. I will never give my people anything more than extra. I'll never give you abstract thinking. I'll never bullshit you. I'll never come off as being philosophical because that's the philosophical people. That's just your bullshit artists. And I know I'm saying bullshit a lot tonight, but there's a lot of bullshit amongst the black race, so it's fitting. That's the only word that comes to my mind. One word, or actually two words that come to mind when you think about the black race and the liabilities within it. Bullshit. You understand? You know, the rebirth of common sense. The rebirth of, you know, what the old folks used to say? Just because you're educated don't mean you're smart. You understand? A lot of educated dummies and fools. They are liabilities. A fool is always going to be a liability. You understand? A fool will always be a liability. So the white man, like I said, in this society, he figured out a way to utilize the fools. You see him. He made them rappers, right? He made them actors. He made these niggas the Pied Pipers of the rest of the so-called black race. He made these niggas stand out front to lead the rest of our people down an alley of ignorance. Now you got a bunch of people, like I said, now the bright ones of our people are hiding in the closet like faggots and lesbians. That's the new closet. We hide in the closet because we're afraid to come out amongst the black race because we want to be down. Some of our, well, I don't want to be down. I don't want to be down with the black race. I don't want to be down with the ignorance. You know, I don't want to call myself African because it's cool and chic, like a lot of you niggas doing in the so-called conscious movement, because it's cool and chic to be African and talk about America, and the damn white man and all the KKK and all that bullshit. You know, y'all now they're not even real with that. The majority of you niggas ain't nothing but a bunch of black Caucasians. That's really what y'all are. You love the white man. A lot of you natural sisters, you love the white man. You love the rest of the humor. You got this we are the world mentality when don't nobody love y'all. They don't love your black asses. But you love everybody. You know. When they have a Columbus Day parade, the Italians is all together, or they in Little Italy, they ain't thinking about your black ass. You can go over there and try to drink with them if you want to. If they ain't had a few Budweisers in them or whatever they drink and the baseball bats ain't around and whatnot, you can go around them if you want to. Hell, or you run around the Irish and they don't had they fill or whatever the hell Irish green lager they drinking, you know, or the Chinese, they tell their little funny jokes. Hell, you can go right on YouTube and see the Asian women making fun of you black women. But you love everybody. You love everybody. Nobody love you. You know. Everybody got it out for the so-called black race. The East Indians, hell, they don't like you neither. They black as the Ace of Spades. They don't like your black asses, but there's a difference. You got the woolly hair. They got the straight hair like the white man. They the same people. Don't you know your white man ain't nothing but a pale shade of the East Indian? They're all the same people. The Chinese, all of them. Notice how they accept all of them because they could find assets in those people. Those people are assets. You understand? They are assets to each other. They exist as a full entity amongst each other. They exist as an asset. But when it comes to you, you will always register as a liability. You know? It's not in them to accept you. You understand? It's not in them to see you as an asset. So stop looking. Stop trying to prove yourself. Stop trying to prove yourself. Stop trying to prove that you have value. You understand? Stop trying to prove that you matter, that you're the same as everybody else. Accept your difference. Be proud of it. Hell, the white man, the East Indian, the Arabs, all of them, they're the same people. There's no real difference with these people. You have a special thing about you in your hair, in your skin, everything you have special about you. Stop trying to be like these people. Stop trying to talk like these people. Stop trying to act like these people. And you niggas in the hood who, like I said, with your Yankee caps and your thugged out behavior, you just like the white man too. You understand? You just like him too. Don't try to sugarcoat. You just like him too. You ain't no different. Because if you're not standing up for the evolution of your people, then you going against them. You working in reverse. You going in the revolution, meaning you're going in circle. See, they take, like I said, the black race is so blind they don't even know when they talk about revolution. When they're talking about revolution, they're talking about people moving in a circle. Because I said the true definition of revolution is those who revolve in a circle. So what is the black race doing? They're revolving in a circle of madness. They keep doing the same thing over and over again, the same bullshit gods, the same bullshit Jesus, the same bullshit Allah, the same bullshit religion, the same bullshit metaphysics, the same bullshit what else niggas into? Pan-Africanism, consciousness, my brother, my sister, then these niggas will stab you right in the back. Right? With a black power fist and a pick in their head. Right? Right. See? This is why we have to go based on intelligence. Right? Intelligence should be the deciding factor in who is a liability and who is an asset. Intelligence. True intelligence. Those who have common sense. Those are the people who are for the evolution of our people versus the people who are with the revolution, or those people in the middle who don't know. They just here taking up space. And that's the majority of your black race. They just here taking up space. They don't know why they here. You know. They think they just here to have sex, eat, sleep, hit, you know, and get up and do it all over again. Go to work for the white man and do it all over again. That's it. They don't have no purpose. They just taking up space. They breathing, they sucking up our good air that the intelligent ones could be using. The dummies are sucking up the good air. You niggas, y'all standing on the corner with your pants off your ass, standing around just being a waste. And you know, you a waste of skin, you a waste of good organs. You know, you are a liability. You'd be a better asset if you just came right in and allowed us to take you apart and give your kidneys, hearts, and lungs to other people that could use it. Our people, not the beast and his people. You know, you'd serve a better purpose with that. A lot of you niggas, you'd serve a better purpose if you allowed us to just cut you apart, cut you to pieces, let you smoke your last blunts and have your last dinner, and let's cut you to pieces with chainsaws and just take your body parts. Because you niggas don't serve no purpose. You know, you don't serve any purpose. You just alive. The only purpose you serve is really to the white man in the prison system. Because, like I said, y'all good for doing is going in jail. You know, getting locked up. You know, the police officers get paid, the judge get paid, the correction officers get paid. So it's a big system in which you rotate, black man, in which you're being induced into rotating in. They're seducing you into rotating and existing within that system. You know, or you black men who accept the philosophy of the beast. You know, you accept his philosophies. You are an asset to him, not to us. Exactly, sister. Mental slaves. Slaves. Yeah, we still got slaves walking on the planet. You know, we still got, you know, like Harriet Tubman said, that beautiful, bright woman said, she said, I would have freed a lot more black people if they knew they were slaves. You know, you got a lot of these niggas, they didn't want to leave. Just like you're going to have that when we're going through the evolution of the bright races coming out of the black race. The black race, they don't want to come out of this sleep. They don't want to come out of the NBA playoffs and the NFL and the club and shaking their ass and having 50 kids. And, you know, they don't want to come out of that. They don't want to come out of that sleep. No, I don't speak like a religious man. I am not a religious man at all. Just because I speak about God, I'm talking about an evolving man and an evolving woman. I'm not talking about religion. I serve no religion. Religion is for fools. I serve a higher authority, which is intelligence. Intelligence is continuous, right? Intelligence will continue throughout the universe, and it will pull those of the people who are in a state of evolution toward a higher mindset, if you are in tune with it. If you are not allowing yourself to get caught up in the things that are going on around you. I told my people, I said, if you are looking to evolve mentally, you have to totally shut yourself down and become, and come amongst your people who are thinking on a higher level. That's when you become the asset. Not when you're doing what everybody else is doing in society. Not when you sitting around trying to be down or be accepted. You want in. That's what the majority of our people are doing, especially the younger generation. And they don't know that they're being converted from assets where their minds were once clean and healthy, and they wanted something. They had desires, they had wants, they had goals, real goals. They might want to be doctors, lawyers, or writers, or something like that. They had something they wanted to do, right? But that has been converted where they were once assets into liabilities, where you started smoking weed, you started getting high, you started hanging out with the wrong people, basically the people who were going nowhere fast and doing nothing. These are the people you hung around. These are the people that the so-called cool people, right? The people that the white man tells you are cool, the losers, the people who serve no purpose. You usually meet these people around junior high school or high school, and you induced into hanging out with them because they cool, and you look at the kids who are trying to be smart and want to do something more, and you call them nerds or whatever you call them, right? And around this time, like I said, you tend to gravitate toward these people because they're the coolest, the thug, the hood, all that stuff. The man who's going to serve to be a liability, or the girl who's going to be getting the Section 8 and the welfare and all this other stuff, who's going to stay on it and ride the system. You understand? She's going to ride like the A train from Far Rockaway all the way up to 240, whatever, how far the A train. That's a long ride for you New Yorkers. You know that. They're going to ride that goddamn train till the wheels fall off. These are your liabilities. These are the people who serve no purpose. These are the people who are not going to help in the evolution of our people. These are the people who are not going to build a society, a better society, like what we want to do in the state of Mentel for the intelligent ones of our people. These are the people who are going to serve no purpose. Right? Do you really want to be amongst them? Do you want to really keep calling yourself, saying that you're part of the black race? And like I hear a lot of you niggas talking about how you want to, oh, well, brother, you can't leave everybody behind. You can't think that way. And let me tell you something. I don't have any love or any, sentiment for useless people. I don't have any love or sentiment for useless people. If I'm on a goddamn life raft and I got 2 dead bodies in the life raft and they weighing down the bottom, I'm going to throw them the hell off to the sharks so I can survive. You understand that? I'm not going to keep them on because, they still people even though they dead. That's what, that's the black race today. The black race has been rendered mentally dead. And when I said once you are rendered mentally dead, physical death is next. All you got to do is lay down. The black race is dead. All they got to do is lay down. That's it. Like I said, when you got people talking about nothing, where their greatest mental stimulation comes from love and hip-hop Atlanta, you understand? Or they talking about Jimmy Jones and the Dipset, or some goddamn rims on their car, something stupid, something just something ignorant. You go down the street, you can hear the black man and black woman in the conversation. Either they talking about something about hip hop, or they talking about some philosophical handkerchief head nigga nonsense they read out of some white man's book, or some story, some bullshit story, or some movie they saw, something stupid. Nothing of any real intelligence, nothing that's going to help advance our people. They're not talking about nothing like that. Or some sex. I'm not a prude. But that's on the that's the mentality. That's the mentality. I'm interested in people, right? I'm interested in people who are advancing their intelligence because we are receiving messages from the universe, from the people who are ahead of us and advanced people who have already moved ahead because the future's already laid out. We're just moving into the future. The future's already laid out. There are people who have come from our bloodline, our genetic already, who are ahead of us, just like we are ahead of the people in the past. Because I said time is continual and it goes nowhere. Just as we are children going back, you understand, and they exist in time frames, there are people moving forward that exist in time frames. There's a time where you are an old man or an old woman, time where you have children, time where you're going to die, time where you're going to come back through your bloodline, time where we're going to figure out this how to navigate through this solar system and move beyond the solar system and move out into deeper space, how we're going to navigate ships through intelligence, through mental power, not through any fossil fuel or anything that's found on this earth, but mental power. All right? Now, it might sound far-fetched to a lot of people, but that's like trying to explain to people who are thinking, who are still in the mindset of horses and carriages in the 1840s about a car existing in the future. That's very real. That car is very real because car is short for the word carriage, right? So if you allow your mind to think into the future, then you can actually see these things. Ideas start resonating in your head. I'm going to come out with a podcast called The Excellent Thought. I'm going to release that podcast 1 week after I release the great mental depression, the great mental depression of the modern day black woman. After I release that, then I'm going to release The Excellent Thought. This is going to put our people in a mindset where you're going to start receiving higher intelligence, advanced ways of thinking. But you have to first move past everybody who's in your circle by breaking out of your circle, doing away with your circle and doing away with everybody within it, and making a straight line toward an evolutionary mindset, toward that excellent thought. Because it exists ahead of you. All you have to do is attach yourself to it. Right? This is real. This is something that won't be realized by the so-called black race. This is something that won't be picked up by the so-called black race. The black race is stimulated by nonsense. And you in a world where you got the Asians, you got the white man, you got the East Indians. They all competing. They're all trying to produce smarter offspring and progeny and seeds and things like that. They learning math and all this kind of stuff. They trying to produce. Like I said, they created a society in 1946 called Mensa. Where you got the white man, the Asian. They got their children in there because, like I said, that's a intelligence coven. That is an intelligence club. So what they're telling you is they're trying to produce a future race of intelligent people, even though it's artificial intelligence. But we should be doing the same thing, producing a natural intelligence group. This is what we're doing within the state of Intel, a natural intelligence group. People who can figure it out, people who get it, people who are advancing, people who are bringing brighter ideas together. Not some niggas that's sitting around regurgitating some nonsense they read out of some white man's philosophy book, or trying to use his thoughts and put blackface on it. You understand? So that they can sound heavy and deep, so they can sound smart. We don't need no more niggas trying to sound smart. We actually need smart people. We need intelligent people. We don't need no more niggas trying to sound smart. We had enough of that. You understand? We had enough niggas just trying to use big words and abstract ways of thinking and not giving us a straight picture. Just say it plain. Make it plain. That's why I respected the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because that man made it plain. That was pure intelligence right there. A lot of you thought Malcolm X was intelligent. Malcolm X wasn't intelligent. He was educated. We don't need no educated niggas. We need intelligent ones. Elijah Muhammad was intelligent. Any man that sees the future, any woman that sees the future, who can see the bigger picture beyond their present surroundings, that's real intelligence. That takes intelligence to see that, to see the bigger picture, to see something beyond your scope, beyond your immediate surrounding. You got people who talk all the time about what's going on in their immediate surrounding. Tell me what's beyond that. Tell me what you see beyond that for yourself. Tell me how you envision yourself beyond your surroundings. That's a sign of pure intelligence. Because what that tells me is you're not paying attention to the people around you because they really don't matter. All the nonsense you go through with these niggas, it don't matter. Because they really just serve as a distraction to pull you into a circle of thinking. You understand? They want to pull you into a rotation of nonsense. You understand? Exactly. That's what Malcolm X became after he left the Nation of Islam, a political parrot. He became a more louder version of Martin Luther King. He didn't see the intelligence that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was trying to lay down for the nation and what he was trying to do what was best. They focused on him. He worried about what some man, who this man was sleeping with, how many women he was sleeping with, which was none of his business. But anyway, I digress. Phone calls. I've been doing all the talking. Like I said, this is our broadcast. Those of you who have questions, comments, if you think I'm wrong, to sit up here and talk about the black race and taking stock in the black race, looking at what we got, doing an accounting, getting an accounting of the black race, you think I'm wrong? You know? You think I'm wrong? You think I'm full of shit? Say it. That's okay. We grown up. You know? I have no problem with that. You don't have to agree with me. Though I know a lot of you do agree with me because we got the bright ones in the room. My bright people are always going to come wherever I go. You know, my bright ones show up at the Supermen, Superwoman Project, which will be taking place September 23rd, Sunday, September 23rd. Those of you who are in the tri-state area, come on out, right? We're doing it in Brooklyn, 1368 Fulton Street, between Brooklyn and New York Avenues at the Bed-Stuy Restoration Plaza, all right? My bright people are here. You know, exactly. Elijah taught Malcolm, but obviously Malcolm didn't learn too well. You know, he didn't see the bigger picture. And that's another thing. That shows you a lot about the so-called black race because they chose Malcolm over Elijah. They thought Malcolm was intelligent because of the way he spoke, his vernacular, that he was very well-spoken. No, like I said, that's surface-level nonsense. But you listen to Elijah Muhammad and you hear what sounds like an old country man, and and trying to explain, and it sounds like the doddering of an old man, but there was wisdom in what he was saying. It takes an intelligent person to find wisdom in that, in his words. They were simple, they were plain, but here's a man that had the power of hundreds of thousands of people in the ears of hundreds of thousands of people, a man who led a real nation of people who work together. Malcolm X could have never ran the Nation of Islam. He could have never ran that. He would have been a liability like he ended up becoming. You know? Assets are people who can stir others to work together, collectively, work in unison, work in tune together. That's what people who are an asset do. They convince people to come together and work collectively and efficiently, like your corporations. In the word cooperation, you see the word, in the root is you can see the word cooperation. In order to run these things, you have to have people who are serving as an asset. Is that any wonder why you don't really see black people having or owning any major corporations? Because it takes cooperation. It takes teamwork. Black people don't work for the team. They deal as individuals. People who think like that are a liability. You understand? If you sit up here and you copy in the white man, one of the things you obviously didn't learn from him, he promotes individualism amongst our people, but yet and still he promotes collectivism amongst himself. United we stand, divided we fall. What does that mean? He's telling you that he believes in collectivism, but he promotes individualism amongst you. He used that nigga like Russell Simmons and talk, do you. Wasn't that a popular phrase in the so-called hip-hop community, do you? You understand? In other words, be an individual. There is no you. You understand? Everything you do in this society is already thought out. You're doing somebody else. Whether you, like I said, you smoking weed, you reading certain books, you do. Somebody programmed that in you to do that. Though you think you made a choice, you didn't. You made no choice. I'm going to play a record. I'm going to play some music. I usually wait. We're about an hour in. You know me, I can run my mouth. But like I said, it's a good night. You know. I have good company with me. So I think I'm gonna play Aquarian Angel by Blue Six. No, scratch that. I'm gonna play Let's Do It Together, because I want the intelligent ones of our people to come together and do it together. All right. All right. So Blue Six, Let's Do It Together. We are holding up our own evolution by trying to, save a sinking ship. It's more expedient and more makes more sense for us to get off the ship and get this separation popping. I'm ready to get this separation popping on a national level, where we start carrying out signs and bans of having intelligence meetings. For the state of mental, we having intelligence meetings, mental projection meetings. We're going to be missing out on so much being in the black race. We're going to be missing out on so much. If we stay within the black race, we'll become liabilities. We're missing out on things like telepathy. We're missing out on things like psychometry. We're missing out on things, advanced ways of thinking, higher experimental knowledge. We're missing out on these things because we walking amongst a bunch of people who all they care about is loving hip hop and smoking weed all day, or getting their hair did. Getting their nails done, or getting a goddamn pedicure, or whatever the black woman could think, whatever simple amount, going to the club and shaking their ass. This what we amongst. These are the people who is talking about these are our people, or these niggas in the conscious movement who all they stuck in Egypt. They ain't left Egypt, Or the Israelites, they running around, they somewhere 5,000 years ago dressing like they're in the desert some goddamn where. Or the black Muslims, these niggas walking around with big Afghanistan beards, So if you can't have people who are coming into the future, who are coming into the past, from out of the past and present into the future, it's something wrong with these people, right? These are people who don't want to deal with reality. They rather lose themselves in the past and the present. They're not future thinkers. That's a liability. Stupid people are a liability. You'll learn that in your life as you become more intelligent, that stupid people are a liability, right? And I don't say it to be funny, because I know a lot of these Negroes about there talking, because we had some of the simple-minded niggas that's up here, and these were supposed to be your conscious ones, too. This is what killed me about it. They said, oh, well, brother, you sound like a black elitist, and you think you better than us. Yeah, I do think I'm better than you. Yeah, I am. I don't want to be like you. I don't like you. I can feel free enough to say that. You niggas disgust me. Because I just feel free to say that. You niggas disgust me. Your abstract thinking and your bullshit philosophies and you trying to sound heavy and deep. You disgust me because you causing confusion. We need people that just straight shooters. We don't need no more bullshit artists. We need straight shooters. We need people that's going to tell the truth. I don't care how funky and how rigid and rough it is, but we need real people that's going to tell us the truth. We don't need nobody to sugarcoat it. See, that's what goes into the making of intelligent people. You understand? People who deal with reality. Not people who dealing with sterility, abstract thinking, nonsense. People sitting around talking about, oh, when we was great back when we was in ancient Kemet and we was, talking about Atlantis, and I don't want to hear nothing about Atlantis and all that. I don't want to hear nothing about Atlantis and Egypt and Africa. We're in America right now, and we should be moving into a future state. We should be moving. Tell me about what it is that you can think of and become a part of this thing in the future state. See, because when you talk to a lot of these people, like I said, when you ask them, all you got to do is ask the black race. This is how you decide or find out who's an asset and a liability. It's very easy. And this should decide, after you ask this question, this should decide whether or not you stay around these people. You black women do it all the time. You starting to ask, man, what are your plans in the next 5 years? Now, if that nigga draw a blank, right, then move on. Move on. If you ask the woman that, well, what are you planning on doing in the next 5 years? And she draws a blank, she goes, move on. Keep it moving. You know, they got their heads up their ass, up their culo. How they say in Spanish? Yeah, they're not trying to move forward. They got their head in the tunnel somewhere in the cloud. Like you religious and spiritual people, you got your head in the cloud. You know, we don't need people with cloudy heads. Cloudy heads means cloudy judgment. And yeah, we do need judgment. We need to judge who's an asset and who's a liability. The big thing amongst our people is, oh, don't judge me. No judgments. You make judgments every day. Don't say you don't judge. Don't make judgment a bad thing. Judgment is a good thing. You judge who you want around you and who you don't want around you. That's a judgment. You judge who you want. You women judge who you want to be your guy, the guy you with, versus the guy you don't want to be. That's a judgment. You know, it's not till we are judgmental people by nature. So-called black people, we're judgmental people by nature. That's how you discern which is ignorant and that which is intelligent. But when you drop the thing and say, oh, well, we're not judging nobody no more, what happens? You start to let a whole lot of ignorant people in your life. People who you wouldn't have let into your life had you had that guard up of judgment. Have you not discerned and looked at these people and looked at what it is they brought to the table? Looked at what it is you bring to the table. Whether they are asset or liability. Is this person worth my time? Is this person worth my body? Is this person worth me sharing a conversation with, much less my bed and my body? You know, these are things you could think about. See, because I guarantee you, when you start thinking on this level and you take people out, you start the process of elimination, you will pull people in that resonate on that mindset with you. You will do that. You will start these people, you will start a process where these people will start to gravitate toward you. And I did that a long time ago until it became the state of mental. These was people that in the state of mental is coming with me now. These was people, you know, because I tell you, the first brother I met who became my student, Mr. Isaac Minjaz, like I know you listening, we met listening to the Israelites, laughing at I used to stop at the Israelites, and I used to laugh at them. You know, I'd be like, you know, and Ike always remembers me asking questions to the Israelites that they couldn't answer. You know, because Ike would always, he'll tell you right now, Ike would be like, oh, man, you know, whenever I come, he said, whenever Nubin comes, the Israelites ready to fold it up and they get mad when they see me coming. Ike used to always say, you know, you used to ask them questions and they'd be sitting there looking mad at you because they couldn't answer the question. You embarrassed them. I said, but don't you understand, by doing that, that's furthering our thought process? That's furthering the intelligence of people. When you ask the hard questions that you don't think can be answered, that's furthering the intelligence. You understand that? That's furthering the intelligence. That's, you know, you have to ask the hard questions to people, things that you don't think they can answer. I'm waiting for the hard question to come that people don't think I can answer. There's virtually nothing right now at this point. And I'm pretty sure y'all get to it, but there's virtually now nothing at this point that I can't answer. Now, I know that's a bold statement, but I'm trying to raise people who, you know, if I keep logic as my foundation, so it's easy for me to have thoughts resonate in my mind or generate in my mind because I'm based in logic. The man you call God, I said the man, not some spook, not some spirit, not some ghost on a goddamn cloud. The man, the intelligent man that you call God, deals with intelligence and logic. People sit up here and talk about the Big Bang Theory, right? This is the mentality of a people who are a liability. They say some stupid things like the Big Bang Theory and things just fell into place, right? There's no such thing. If you look at the planet, you look at the solar system, you look at our biological makeup, that's based on intelligence. Biological, meaning that your body is based on an intelligent, orderly makeup. So that means that wherever there's order, there's intelligence. And where there's intelligence, there's a man, a thinking man. A man who's ahead of us, an intelligent man, that means there's an intelligent race of people that are ahead of us. And they produced people that were behind them. And we're supposed to be becoming those people through our bloodline and our genetics. We're supposed to be evolving, just like there was a time where there was a so-called Homo erectus and Homo sapien. All that. You know, that's from the white man. That's his so-called evolution. That ain't got nothing to do with us. But just as they went through a so-called evolution, though it was only limited evolution that revolved back into a revolutionary state, because you see the white man, the rest of the humans, they're going back to their way of being, where you're seeing bestiality now and, you know, all kind of weirdness that they was doing when they was in the caves in the Caucasus Mountains. But anyway, we're supposed to be going through an evolution ourselves. You understand? You know, you got people who sit up here and they don't understand what's going on here. You got people who are not figuring it in. They're not figuring into this factor that our people, upon asking the hard questions, you know, upon answering the hard questions, we're getting a state of evolution. We are evolving. You know, we are evolving in a state of higher intelligence. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to ask the hard questions of our people to find out who are the goddamn liabilities and who are the assets. You know, the black race, they don't know what the assets are. You think the rappers and the gold chain wearers and the hustlers, you think those are assets. You understand? Those are liabilities. Too many simple-minded niggas with too much money on their hands that are doing nothing but giving it to the beast. They doing nothing but giving it right to the white man. They doing nothing. They serve no purpose. Though that money's not going to go to build schools. It's not going to go to educate people or you know, move us forward. It's not going to go for that. You know, it'll constantly go in a rotation to keep people in a mental bondage. Because even if you're not spending money like that, let's say you have a son or a daughter who's looking at these people, right? These rappers, these entertainers, these, you know, just basically the mentally dead Negroes who ain't doing nothing but giving their money to the white man so he can put it back in the rotation so they can send their kids off to school and do everything. So our people are looking at that, and the young people, they become materialistic. Everything is about materialism. So what happens? You create a rotation of ignorance. You create a revolutionary mindset of ignorance, people who moving in a rotation, constantly and perpetually moving in a circle of ignorance, right? Until one day somebody figures out that, you know what, we are actually gerbils on the goddamn wheel, that there is a way out of this. Somebody has to ask the logical question. Somebody has to start taking accountability. Somebody has to take an accounting. I said that taking stock in something means taking an interest in it, an investment in something, investing your time, your energy, your all in something. You know, that's what taking stock in something means. Do we continue on with the black race, the intelligent ones of our people, or do we break off and form a new family? Do we continue on with the black race, or do we break off and form a goddamn family, form a new family? Bringing about this separation within the black race must take place. Just as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said 60 years ago, that the only one and only solution to the problem of the black man and black woman in America is complete and total separation from the white race. No, now it's changed. The vision has changed. In 2012, the only solution to the problem of the black race here in this society and around the world is complete and total separation within the black race, the intelligent from the ignorant. That's the only solution. That's what we standing up for in the state of mental. So, you know, to you niggas out there, you think we sound like we black elitists, and you know who you think you is, and, you know why we need all our people. No, we don't need you, because you ain't doing a damn thing. You not standing up for intelligence. You niggas are standing up for stupidity. You standing up for the new $200 Nikes. You understand? You standing up for the new R쏘ᴄᴇ. You niggas standing up for Yankee caps and blunts and spinning rims, you know, and the club and the hoes. You know, that's what you niggas are standing up for. You know? You conscious niggas, y'all standing up for things that don't even matter no more. You standing up for Egypt and metaphysics and that bullshit from the white man. Things just fell here out of nowhere. That don't even make sense. But you just repeating it because the white man said it in the book. That don't even make sense. No. We need intelligent people, people who are thinking logically. Like my grandmother used to say, common sense people, common sense folk. That is the true power of intelligence. You understand? That is the true power of intelligence. That's what I'm standing up for in the state of mental. No, we have to have a separation. You understand? We have to have our own communities, just like the Jews have their own community. And in the Jewish community, they virtually created their own world. They don't deal with everybody. They deal with outside people in business, but when they come home to their community, that dollar's going to turn over 100, 200 times in their goddamn community. They don't have to take the dollar out of their community. And they're expanding all across Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, and everywhere. They're expanding, you know. While the black zombies, they just walking around, you know. These dumb niggas walking around, like I said, just in the days, and these people moving. And you know what? I got nothing against that. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's beautiful that the Jews taking over the neighborhood. They always had the buildings anyway. But you know what? That just shows. And what I said is, hey, you know, if they willing to work together and get it together and work cooperatively, maybe we should be learning something that we taught a long time ago. We understood about collectivism. You understand? You're not going to get that with the black race. The black race got too many distractions. They got too many separations things. We Muslims, we Christians, we Israelites, we don't think the same. We Pan-Africanists. We want to keep our own beliefs, but we can still be black together. No, in the hell we can't. That black thing is not going to keep us together, because if it did, it would have worked for Marcus Garvey. What was Marcus Garvey's downfall? He trusted niggas. That was his downfall. He didn't know. He went on skin color value instead of what people were thinking. He didn't go on the mental. He didn't go on what was inside the heads of people. He went what was going on the outside of the head, but on the outside of the skin. But then you know what? Garvey said something. He said, if we go back to Africa, he said, I don't need you people who are useless over here coming over there with us, because you're going to be useless over there. You understand? You'll serve no purpose. You know, we must separate, you know, the intelligent ones of our people. Even if I start the process, I want my people to continue. Those of you who are following me, those of you who are listening to my words, those of you who have come as friends, and now you're students, and now you are followers. That's fine. We want to raise this thing nationally in a separation of the black race, you know, to create a new family. A new racial description. The bright race. I submit to you the bright race. Now, I'm not talking to you simple-minded niggas. I'm not talking about, you know, for those of you first listening, I'm not talking about light skin and dark skin, you know. Oh, you trying to do something for bright-skinned people? No, so obviously you don't make the cut in what we're doing. Because I just said that this is an intelligence thing. This is not a light skin and dark skin thing. This is an intelligence thing. Bright people, intelligent people, people who carry common sense and logic and want to cooperate. Basically, a dissatisfied people. People who are dissatisfied with the black race and how things are going. I know we got plenty of people out here, but a lot of you are not brave enough. A lot of you are not brave enough to cause this separation. I don't want to be the only one, you know, raising my voice up. When we go out in the state of mental and we go out here and we're doing our Supermen, Superwomen project, I said the word Supermen and Superwomen is actually, the Supermen and Superwomen project is actually short for the Supermental projection. That's a short. It's not about no symbol and no black Superman. I'm talking about a supreme people who became supreme based on their intelligence and their will to think beyond the circle, to think outside the box. I said that in the last project we did. I said the thing that they downplay about the character Superman is that, you know, they play up the whole thing about his strength and his power and things like that. But the thing they downplay the most about Superman is his intelligence. Because through intelligence is how he became powerful. That is the difference between God and man. God is more intelligent. God thinks outside of a box. God doesn't exist, the true and living God, a man, not some spook or spirit, not some unseen force, a man, an intelligent man, thinks outside of your box. He don't fit inside of your religion. He don't fit inside of your little boxes that y'all trapped in. You understand? And he is not resonating in the minds of those people who fit in boxes. The people who fit in the boxes are your liabilities. Check 1 for Christian. Check 2 for Muslim. Check 3 for Israelite. Check 4 for conscious. Check 5 for metaphysician. Check 6 for Pan-African. You know, those little boxes. Those forms of knowledge. They're limited. No, those are the liabilities. The people who are assets are the people who have or who have made space in their heads for unlimited intelligence, continuous intelligence, people who have no boundaries, people who have no limits on their thinking. Now, I know a lot of you people think you think outside the box and you don't have no limitations on your thinking and whatnot, but a lot of you do. A lot of you do. A lot of our people have limitations on their thoughts. A lot of our people think just because you do crazy things or what you consider to be over the top, you thinking, I don't have any limitations. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are actually pulling from the universe, from the future, beyond time, people who are pulling from the universe thoughts into this atmosphere and that are resonating in this present time to bring in thoughts. This is what your inspiration is, when you bringing in thoughts and ideas that were not previously here. You understand? You become a receiver for higher intelligence, advanced intelligence. Now, people will say, oh, there's nothing new under the sun. That is the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. What the hell you mean there's nothing new under the sun? Was cars here 300 years ago? Was computers here 300 years ago? Was televisions here 300 years ago? So then how the hell are you going to say there's nothing new under the sun? That means these things, it was a time where these things didn't exist. So where did they come from? They didn't come from a natural evolution of, okay, well, we started with this and you came with this. No, there was really no natural evolution. There was actually a big jump. Somebody jump-started the intelligence of people because these people opened their minds to be receivers of higher intelligence. They didn't think in a box. That's how they started receiving higher intelligence. That's how I was able to bring through that knowledge of mentellect and that word of mentellect and the things I've taught you thus far. I made myself an open receiver for higher intelligence. And a lot of our people can do the same thing based on your diet, what you eat. I spoke about the platelets in the blood and the iron, how the iron is actually a magnetic receiver, just like a radio antenna. This is why they do that in witchcraft, like I told you before, in witchcraft, where they tell you that blood in witchcraft is strong based on the metal in the blood, the iron. That's the strength of the blood because it's used as a receiver. Every living creature on the planet has blood, red blood flowing through its veins because that blood works as a transmitter. Because you have metal in you that pulls, causes a magnetic pulsation of thought, of frequency. Certain people vibrate on a higher frequency, others vibrate on a lower frequency. This is real. Look it up, the platelets in your blood. It's metal. That's why when you cut yourself, like I said, you taste the blood, it has a metal taste to it, a smell to it. You all receive intelligence based on those metallic platelets in your blood and how rich your blood is, how rich it is in iron. The woman whose blood is not rich in iron, she's anemic. You are reception. You are receivers, what the Egyptians called rays. We'll be right back. When we had people tell us that, it's impossible for us to cooperate with each other, when we got our own people telling us that, our people coming together, is impossible, Those are the people who are working against our evolution. Because one of the first things you should say is, where are my people coming together at the intelligent ones of my people? And you should be trying to make that happen as well. You shouldn't be trying to speak against it and not giving a solution, or trying to lend yourself to coming together collectively. If you're going to constantly beat that down, we got a lot of people beating that horse down, saying that, we can't come together and be a new people and whatnot. Those are your liabilities. Those are your naysayers. Those are the people who have a thing where they're not collective people. Collective people who are not collective thinkers are liabilities. They're not assets. Individuals are liabilities. Because we know we need a group. We need the group. Just like insurance companies judge people, right? They judge whether you are an asset or liability, whether they will insure you. Everything in society works on asset and liability. You're judged based on that, because these things fall under polarity, like good and bad, negative and positive, whatever. These are polarities that fall under. And because we are in a world, we are in an atmosphere that's governed by polarity, we have to make judgments based on that. We have to make judgments based on people. The white man judges people as liabilities all the time. When he goes into war, right, he looks at who's going to be casualties, right? He already looks to see, he already knows, he calculates who's going to die and who's going to live. How many people, he calculates who's going to be the liabilities. He looks at that. It's necessary for the, survival of the people to see who values life. The black race don't value life. Our people don't value life. The black race as it stands today no longer values life. So now they become liabilities. Anytime you're shooting each other down in the hoods of America, you don't got no value for life. So you're a liability. What the beast has decided is that the best way that you can be an asset, the black man could be an asset, is in the prison system, back in bondage, where you served to him, you served the best as an asset. You work all day, less sleep time, whoop smart, it didn't take much. Fed you a few squares, half a squares. You're a big buck, you work strong, hard, and that was it. Put in a day's work and everything. This will happen again. And the new form of bondage, which is called the prison system. New bond, the way they put the black man back under bondage. I've been always saying this. You no longer exist as an asset after you got out of bondage, after you got out of the first bondage. So you're going to have the black man in this day and time. Young black males are going back into the bondage system, a.k.a. the prison system, at an alarming rate, faster and faster and faster, because that's the best way you're going to serve a purpose, because they need workers. They need people to sew up them Nike sneakers that you niggas love so much. Because they're not going to be able to get any more that Chinese, that Asian connection where they're going to be sewing them up. Because after a while, China's going to close off that trade. That's going to happen in the future. They're not going to be able to go. They're going to take control of them little Koreans and those countries and things like where the white man had his factories, the Nike factories, sewing up sneakers. And somebody got to make them Nikes. Somebody got to make them computer chips. Somebody got to make all the things. Somebody got to sew up jeans. Somebody got to make blouses. A lot of you black women that's going to be in the prison system, and you Latino women, y'all going to be making jean dresses and blouses from the Kathy Gifford collection. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell, you think that's far-fetched? Who was patching up all of the, who did they use to patch up all of those, or fill in those dams and the holes in New Orleans? The prisoners. Yeah, right? The prisoners. They ain't got to pay them nothing, right? Give them a little bit of commissary, whether 5 cents an hour, whatever the hell, and give you some commissary so you niggas can have a pack of cookies for the night, and some Kool-Aid, and whatever the hell you niggas eat in commissary, When you niggas ain't stabbing each other over it. You know, selling some cigarettes, you can sell each other over that. Sell a prison fag over that. You know, the things y'all do that you know, the black man gets accustomed to living that life. You go out and work, you're going to go, and you make, like back in the day, they used to use you to make the license plates. That was the first form, where the white man said, well, we got these guys sitting around, because the white man will find a way to utilize anything. He'll use you, you know. So, you know, like he had the black man, you know, and his people was making license plates in the prison system. So now they're going to up the game. You're going to be made to work. You ain't going to be able to sit around and lift weights and study Islam and bullshit and stand around in circles and fight and stab each other and be Bloods and Crips. That's going to be over with. Because as soon as one of you niggas stab each other, as soon as you kill each other, that's going to be damage of property. Then you become a liability. And they're not going to have you damaging another piece of property. What did Beanie Siegel call himself when he came out with that clothing line? State property? That was a sign getting you black men ready. You black men who were not going to evolve mentally. You black men that want to stay in darkness and still be thugs and be part of society who are going to stay in that submental state. Beanie was getting you ready with state property, getting you niggas used to it, thinking it's a cool thing to be state property. Beanie said at the end of this movie, I'm state property. You niggas thought that was cool. This dumb nigga, he said, I'm state property. Man, I'm state property. Yeah. Now, you black men like us, that's what you're going to be. That's another way of saying you going back into slavery. You going back into bondage. It's the same thing. The bondage system. The bond age. Right? And when, you know, what do they tell you when they say, when you go to the bail bondsman, and they say you got to get bonded out. Right? So, you black men, it's all a circle. You going right back into bondage. You will serve as an asset. Because right now, as free men, because you're not doing anything, you're a liability. You know, you're a liability. You don't serve no purpose. Ain't no new and breakthrough inventions or higher forms of intelligence or experimental things coming from the black man and the black woman. Hell no. Maybe one or two. And when you get these black men or these so-called black women who are highly intelligent, you know what the white man does? He takes them and moves them amongst him, like they did with Dr. Ben Carson. You know, I got the guy from Boston, the brain surgeon. They made sure they took him and put him all the way up there in Boston, where he wasn't around black people. They didn't want him around so he could show little black kids and inspire little black kids to be brain surgeons and heart doctors. They don't want that. As soon as they find one of the talented ones, our people, they take them, snatch them. You don't belong there. Hell, that's what the bright race should be doing. When we foster the intelligence and the bright ones of our people, we're supposed to take that person from amongst the black race, amongst the little niggas that's going to just grow up and be roaming in packs like wild dogs who don't want nothing else. You know, want to be Bloods, want to be Crips, want to be, you know, whatever the hell, Latin Kings, whatever the hell they want to do. You know, just stab each other, fight each other, shoot each other, kill each other. All kind of stupidity. That's what we should be doing. You know? They take the intelligent ones of our people. You understand? You know? They take the intelligent ones of our people and keep them amongst themselves. Right? That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be Voltroning like a collective of bright people away from the black race. We need to raise a new flag. We got the flag. I said we're raising the Mendelian race. You understand? The bright race, the Mendelian race. The mental receivers, the intelligent ones. This is the phoenix rising out of the ashes. How many of you are with me? I know a lot of you are with me. But let your actions be heard over your words, beyond your words. Because the bright ones of our people individually are not going to be able to make it in this society. I'm going to tell you something. This society is made for niggas. This society is made for the black race. I'm gonna share, and I say that because if you notice, the beast, he, you know, as long as you an ignorant nigga, as long as you serving his purpose of going in the prison system and things like that. You ever notice, like, even in police, the so-called police sweeps and stuff like that, they never seem to sweep up the niggas with their pants hanging off their ass or selling the drugs on the corner. They always get the black men who ain't doing nothing. They always seem to bother them. They never, get the guys who, you always see these same guys, they walk around, drugs on them, they never really get bagged up too much. Because these people serve the system. They serve into keeping the madness going in the society, in the black community. So they leave them alone. They'll bother you. They'll make a problem with you. That's why I said the bright ones of our people, just as the Jews were smart enough to separate from the white race, the bright race has to separate from the black race. You understand? We have to raise a new flag. We have to raise a new banner. We can't talk about past things anymore. We know about Africa. We know about Egypt. We know about all that stuff. We don't care. Yeah, got it going. I advocate this all the time. I said that's the only solution to my people. Cause I said I'm not going to sit here on here and, I'm not a radio personality. Not at all. But I've got accolades and people. I thank you for the things you say. People say they like my voice and how I speak. And, I thank you how we put together the broadcast. But no, I'm not a radio personality. I'm not a religious man. I'm not a God-fearing man. I don't fear anything. What I am is an intelligent, forward-thinking man and one who looks to pioneer a mentality in a people, an advanced way of thinking in a people. And we should be pooling all of our resources as the bright race while I'm doing these Supermen, Superwomen projects to bring our people together collectively. See, because we're the only ones holding ourselves back. Don't look for the black race to show up. I told a brother one time, I said, look, he said, brother, this message you're getting out here is powerful, brother. You're dropping this knowledge, you're dropping this intelligence on the people, and, why ain't more of the black race coming out? I said, because the black race is dead. You didn't know that? Hell, the black race is a goddamn afterthought. I ain't thinking about them. This ain't for these niggas. Mental ain't for niggas. My knowledge ain't, this knowledge, this intelligence I'm teaching, this ain't for black people. You didn't get the memo? This ain't for black people. This is for bright people. I'm going to say it again. This is for bright people, not light-skinned people, not mulattoes. I'm talking about for intelligent people. And for you people to say, oh, well, no, the white race, they don't make the grade neither. Or the East Indians, and it's not for them either. So it ain't for the human race and it ain't for the black race. This is for a future people. This is for an advanced people. You understand that? Because when I teach about mental intellect, and I teach on the knowledge of mental intellect or the intelligence of mental intellect, the majority of our people ain't going to get it anyway. So that proves it ain't for the black race. They scratching their head, like I said, I'm a Martian. Now, they scratching their head like I'm a Martian. I came from Mars, and I just said some Martian language they don't get. And I'm speaking plain English, and the majority of y'all get it. Why don't they get it? So that proves that we're not the same, that there's an evolution taking place, like I've been telling you, that this evolution would take place amongst the black race. You understand? Where the bright ones would come out. So, we're moving on. I'm about to close out with these final questions. As I always do, that is my modus operandi. All right. What does it mean to take stock in the black race? What that means is that we are looking at what it is we are walking amongst. We're looking at the value or the worthlessness in calling ourselves black or being aligned with the black race right now. We have to take stock as future people. We have to see what it is we're working with, what we're dealing with. We have to take an accounting right now so that we know that we should not be moving amongst these people, that we shouldn't be investing our time, our energy, our association with these people. You understand? We have to understand that. We have to understand that we shouldn't be putting our energy into these people. You understand that? We have to understand that. This is what it means to take stock in our relationships within the black race, who we want to associate with, who we don't want to associate with. Right? This is what it is, so that we can move on into a prosperous future. Collectively, as a new race of people. Why should intelligent people within the black race start taking a hard, realistic look at the black race? Because when you are moving or when you are looking to move forward as a collective, as a group of people, you have to take a hard look at the people who are walking amongst you or walking beside you. You have to. You understand? You know, you can't sit up here and blindly move with people who are blind. You can't move beside people who are blind, who can't see the bigger picture. You can't move with people who share the same complexion with you just because of that. You understand? You can't move with thugs and gangbangers and gays and lesbians and all these other people that done took on the ways of the beast. We can't move with those people. Yeah, my words sound controversial, but it's real. You can't move with them kind of people. You understand? You can't move with people who are caught in the past and the present. You got to move with people who are thinking into the future, who are ready to strip naked mentally and start all over and be retrained and rethought and retaught how to receive higher intelligence, opening their minds up. All right? That's why we have to take a hard look, a realistic look at the black race. All right? Because the black race has become a thing of the past, right, and a thing of the present. But the bright race will become a people of the future, a continuous future. What is the intellectual value of the black race? Zero. That's the intellectual. That's the intellectual value of the black race. Zero. And why I say zero is because zero represents the rotation, or people who are not really, who really don't have or don't register in the realm of intelligence as a linear people, as a people who are actually evolving. That is your black race. They serve no valuable purpose. You understand? It's already been decided. Hell, they decided it themselves. I'm not coming from the white man's perspective or thing. We're looking at it as thinking people. We're not interested in what the white man said. We're interested in what we're saying as intelligent, bright thinking people. You understand? The value is not there. Who judges black people in this society by these terms? All right, well, the white man does, and now the bright man does. The bright race does. And then the white man already judged our people already. We put ourselves in a position to be judged by them. You understand? You know, we put ourselves in a direct line to be judged by them. We put ourselves in that submental picture to be judged by them. So the white man is the god of the black race. He is their judge and jury. He is the one who has decided that on this realm, in this plane, that they are liabilities and no longer assets. You understand? Now, I know probably if I have some white listeners out there who say, "Oh, who is this guy? He's racist. Where is he coming from? What is this guy saying about black and white?" You full of it. You guys are full of it because you already know you think that way. You think the same way, and you live it out in your life how you feel about the black race. You don't see any value in the black race. Not that we care what you see. We're only interested in what we see. You understand? How we see it. We're not interested in what you think. Okay? Does the Supreme Being judge black people as assets and liabilities? Yes, God does. The true and living God does judge black people as assets and liabilities. That's why black people are not advancing. That's why our people are catching hell in this society, because no God is connecting with you. Because the God that you Negroes pray to so much has abandoned you. You ain't figured it out yet? He was never there. The God you serve is the white man. That's the God you really serve and pray to. These are the people that you're looking for change to come in the world. You're not looking for no God to make no change because you're not willing to make a change. So how the hell you going to slip into it? You looking for some God to connect with you and whatnot and make a change in your life when you're not trying to change. You want to be the same old nigger and niggerette. You want us to be up here talking crap about people in the church, backstabbing, lying, sleeping with other women's husbands, all kind of stuff you niggas do within the black race. Then you want to go to church and get prayed up and talking about some God going to save you. You understand? You want to sit up here and talk about some God going to save you. No God is listening to the black race. You ain't, figure it out. That's why you got to go up here and try to jump up under the God to the beast. You got to go try to follow his Jesus Christ. You got to follow the Arab God Allah. You got to follow some ancient so-called God called Yahweh or whatever. But like I said, you niggas are still catching hell. You still in a state of ignorance. You still in a state of confusion. You got to run to the white man and read his books and whatnot and try to find out and figure out things for yourself because you're still in darkness. No God is connecting you to pure intelligence and pure light, because that's the true connection to the real God, Amen, through intelligence. through advanced thinking, giving you the ability to have future thought, future intelligence. That's the reality. Let me see. What is considered real asset? What is considered a real asset to God? Those who receive His intelligence, those who open themselves up to receive His intelligence, those of our people who are not trying to sit up here and come up with their own bullshit philosophies and ideologies that you got from the white man trying to put a black face on it and causing confusion. Those are the people who open themselves up as true receivers of God, not you trying to come with your own philosophy. Because I said mental like it's not my philosophy. You understand? I don't own anything. It comes through me. Yes, I've made myself an open receiver to that intelligence. I don't care who acknowledges it or not. I really don't care. I ain't asking you to believe me. Watch the work. Watch what I'm putting out. Watch the shows I'm putting up, the work I'm putting out to advance the minds of my people. That's the work of a true God, one who advances the minds of the people, moves them beyond their present state, so that they can move physically. Should and will God take stock in the black race for the future? No. There is no connection with any God. God is not taking stock in the black race. God done basically said to hell with the black race. God has already decided, the true and living God has decided that the black race is a waste of time. So He is advancing and elect people out of the black race, because the black race ain't trying to cooperate. The black race ain't trying to move forward. The black race ain't trying to do a damn thing. They want to stay stuck in ignorance. They already made their mind up, because it's easy to stay in that submental place under the beast. All right? We've come to the end of our broadcast. Join us Friday. I'm not sure. I think I wrote down what the topic will be, but join us Friday. It's going to be hot as usual. You know, I'm going to always keep it good and, on point. All right? So I want to play to close out. Join us on September 23rd if you're in the New York City area for the Supermen, Superwomen Project. All right? So I want to play, yeah, that's what I want to play. Star and Break.